Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is hypnosis for permanent weight loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. Sold out on you. I actually feel that I sold out on you. I've been doing this Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss podcast for the last 4 years. And my energy, obviously, in 4 years and who I am as a being over 4 years' time has absolutely transformed and changed. And obviously, when we're on our own self-development, personal development journeys, there are going to be new awarenesses that come in, and therefore new energy, new inspiration, new action, new ways of being, new results. And as someone who has been on this personal development journey for a very long time, I have recently been present to something. So many of us have a belief inside ourselves that I am not enough. And in the winter time of this year, I was doing a lot of personal development courses, and they had you actually write on your mirror, I am enough, blah, blah, blah. So I'm a great student, and I did that. But then I remembered something. One of the main things that I discovered in one of my very first and a very significant personal development training that I did was that I actually did not acquire the belief that I'm not enough. I actually acquired the limiting belief that I am too much. I am too much. I remember as a child hearing my mom, I can actually picture it. I was sitting there at the dinner table and I was going on about my day and I was sharing about it, and I think my voice was a little bit elevated in volume, and she just said, Leslie, you're too much. And I just remember in that moment shrinking down inside myself, there being like an inner folding happening. And this is how our unconscious minds get developed. It has a significant event that happens that for whatever reason we are affected by neurologically, emotionally, mentally. And then it leads to a new way of being ongoingly for the rest of our lives. And so I grew up with this fundamental belief that I am too much. And therefore, anytime that I may be bold, be big, speak out, say my truth, it was dangerous because in our primal minds, if we are too much of something or not enough of something, then we are at risk for being abandoned, for having love be taken away from us. And so in this last year, I believe that fear of my being too much for you and on this podcast has absolutely gotten in the way of your transformation. Because here's something that has not changed. If you've been listening to this podcast since the very beginning, you will note that there is a big change in energy. It goes from action, 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 like me telling you straight up, if you do not hire a coach, if you do not get started in a program, if you do not invest in yourself, you will not get any results. You will not get movement in your life, and you are actually procrastinating your life and actually creating more inner havoc, more disease, more inflammation, more chaos, more unhappiness. The list goes on in your life. And the thing that I am so thankful to remember today is that I still believe and know that that is true. Okay, it is true that by just listening and being a spectator on the sidelines of life, okay, if you think of a huge soccer game, you go to the soccer game and there's the people, the massive amounts of people who are in the stands spectating and watching the game. And then there are a fraction of amount of human beings that are actually on the field, sticking their necks out, getting hurt, getting rejected as goals are being tried to score on them, and playing the game. And the reward is they get to have teamwork, they get to have connection, they get to have physical activity, they get to have purpose, they get to have passion, they get to have energy, vitality, right? They get to have all of those things as well as an opportunity to achieve some significant awards, some personal goals, some team goals, some professional goals, some sport goals, all as a result of them actually saying to themselves, hey, I love this. I'm good at this. I want to be part of this. I want to play the game. Yeah? And so there's the option. And if we look at the game of life, there's those of us who are spectating, right? So for those of you who've been listening to this podcast and you're just spectating, and maybe the sound of my voice just gives you a therapeutic effect that helps you fall asleep at night or makes you feel less alone, helps you avoid inner turmoil or pain or just the noise that goes on in your own head and the negative feelings you feel in your own body by just zoning out to the sound of my voice will know more. That is not going to be happening on this podcast anymore. We are going back to what I know is true, and that is the fact that you deserve to play the game of life. You deserve to be a active participant in your own life. You deserve to actually be the creator of your own life. You deserve to live a life in alignment with you. You deserve to live a life that feels good to you. You actually also deserve to feel good every single day. It is actually our birthright to feel good, to live a good life, to experience heaven on earth, and to just appreciate this life. I was just talking to my sister over the weekend. She's also a nurse. She's working in an oncology unit, and she experiences so frequently, unfortunately, young people dying of cancer regularly. And it devastates her to see these people who are just like her. They're just so, and their lives end at age 25, at age 32, at age 45, 55, too soon. And she said, while it's so devastating, I'm grateful that it forces me to actually live my life today, because you have absolutely no idea what tomorrow can bring. And that also was my experience working in the hospital, was seeing that and seeing also that health follows happiness. And when you follow your dreams and you get out of your own way mentally, emotionally, and you set yourself up for success, health follows that. But if you're stuffing down emotions, if you are pushing down the fact that you are trying to stay skinny, or you're trying to hold the weight down and trying to eat perfectly all the time and trying to look good and trying not to be judged by anyone else and trying not to make any ripples in life and playing small and continuing to be a spectator when you have ambitious dreams. And whether your ambitious dream is to just be able to enjoy your family and the life you've already built and worked so hard to build, or your ambitious dream is like, I never did these bucket list items for myself. I haven't traveled. I haven't bought a house. I haven't, built a family. I haven't seen things, experienced things, whatever it is, like that matters. Your desires do actually matter. And my experience and those of many of my clients, hundreds of clients I've worked with, is the fact that we are putting ourselves on the back burner. Yeah, that we are trying so hard to be perfect all the time. And we've actually disconnected from even knowing what that desire is. All we know is lose weight. How do I lose weight? How do I stay consistent? How do I stay motivated? It's like we're beating the same drum over and over again. And I'm here to say you got to get out of that. It's just no longer any type, there's no excuse in the world that could ever be good enough to have it be that your life is being, the word that's coming to me is castrated, right? Like it's just so painful and aggravating and upsetting and sad and frustrating to just be constantly trying to lose weight and lose it and gain it and lose it and gain it and yo-yo all day long. It's just not the reality that you deserve to live. And so I am back. I am no longer here to sell out on you. I am here to actually snap you into action. Okay? Because no action equals no result. Okay, so in order to actually get the results, and I'm going to go into four takeaways that I got from client conversations today that I want to have make a difference for you and inspire you into this action. So stay tuned. In just a moment, I'm going to get into that. All of this stuff being here to guide you, to support you in taking action, because again, no action leads to no results. So in order to get transformation, and the idea of what transformation is, it's like you are starting to act in a different way automatically. You have subtle changes that all of a sudden is like, oh my God, I'm not binging anymore. Oh my God, I'm not panicking about what I'm going to wear anymore and like procrastinating or socially isolating myself anymore. Oh my God, I actually said what I wanted to say and I didn't stuff it down. Oh my God, I actually enjoyed sex with my husband. Oh my God, I actually didn't care about the bathing suit thing when I tried them on at the store and I just found a bathing suit that fits me and moved on. Like this is what transformation is when you're like surprised that it happens. Okay? And in order for transformation to happen, the other thing that doesn't work is willpower. So when you're just dieting and you're just trying to control yourself, put that beach ball underneath the water and try to make sure that you stay perfect and don't gain any weight, that is not transformation, right? It's actually just more stagnation until eventually the ball pops up, smacks you in the face, and all your weight comes back and in a bigger way, and then more depression, more anxiety, more stress. This is just how it is. Yeah, so you have to be willing to take action outside your comfort zone in order to get transformation. Growth does not happen inside the comfort zone. Yeah, number two, you have to be coachable. So willing to hear things that you may not want to hear in order to get where you want to go. To be someone who is free and can actually turn the page out of diet mentality and into a life living in full color, not black and white thinking, full color, vibrant living thinking. It's the most amazing, incredible thing to get to experience. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of freedom. And to me, freedom is a top value. I want to feel free all the time. It's just wonderful. And why not? Okay, so, but in order to do that, you have to change how you do everything. You basically need to take everything that you know about food, body, and weight, dieting, nutrition, exercise, all of the facts, all the figures, everything you learned over the years from all of your dieting, and you need to be willing to like completely turn it on its head. Yeah, I have a client in the past who said, Leslie, every time I listen to what my husband tells me to do to lose weight, I do worse, it backfires, and I start to eat more. Every time I do something that you tell me to do that sounds very strange and the opposite of what I should do, I actually do better. Okay, and so it takes a willingness to really get out of your comfort zone and do the opposite and something very different than what you would normally do to get a different result. That's how we rewire the brain. That's how you experience different results automatically. Okay, and then the third one is really about implementing the work. You need to take action. I know that when people do the work, they get the results every single time. If they don't do the work, well, can't take ownership of that, because how can you expect change to happen if you're not doing the work it takes to change the brain to have a different experience? Yeah. So as long as you're able to do those three things, but without those three things, if you're not taking action outside your comfort zone, if you're not being coachable and getting feedback on things, and how to do it better, right? And if you're not taking that implemented action, no results. All right, this is what it takes, which is why we are going back to action powered, baby. This is your kick in your butt. This is your message to do it now, not tomorrow. We don't know if we have tomorrow. Okay, you've been dealing with food, body, and weight stuff your whole life. You've been struggling your whole life, and I'm here telling you that I have an answer for you. You can be done with it in 8 weeks' time. All right. So, but unless you actually take the action, book the call, not going to happen. So just start the ball rolling, okay? Motivation comes when you just take the first step, okay? So the invitation is always that first step. You're going to hear in this podcast, text the word hypnosis to 1-855-232-5483. You're going to get the free training, and in the free training, there'll be the thing to book a call. Right? If you need to watch the free training first to be like, what is this Leslie girl? What is she actually talking about? Watch the free training first. It's almost 2 hours long, and it's full of all the juicy information to just make sure that you understand, agree with what I'm saying. Right? I was just talking to a woman today, and she was like, I don't believe in this guru saying like, this is the answer and this is the only answer, because I think there's many answers. I totally agree. Right? There is no right answer. And this is one of the pieces that it was my takeaways I wanted to bring you today. Okay, there is not one answer. All right. And unfortunately, diet mentality puts us in that black and white thinking that goes like, this is the answer. No, this is the answer. No, this is the answer. When in reality, it's like every single diet that you've done has given you helpful information, has supported you in a time that you needed it, was in alignment for you and what you needed at the time, but it was not the full thing for you. Okay, the health and wellness journey is a never-ending journey. If you are someone who values your health, you are going to value it for the rest of your life and continue to educate yourself and go into different processes. Anytime that I invest in a coaching container, I have my lofty goal. I learn what I learned in that program. I trust that that program and the decision that I made was what I needed at the time. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there to support me to the next step. And if I didn't hit the specific goal, I just say, okay, what was missing from that? And then when I find what that is, now I'm going to look for the next coaching program to support me in getting that next piece. Yeah. And so from there, you just ask yourself, so what my program offers is the emotional mastery to support with any emotional eating, to understand the root cause of why you're eating in the first place. My favorite thing is knowing that the Weight Watchers inventor was binging on Little Debbie's cakes in her laundry room when her family, and locked herself in there, and when her family couldn't get to her. Right? But it's like in that story, there was never the why. Why was that happening in the first place? It's just the control. It's like, okay, we're going to count our points and then we won't control it. Well, why would anybody care to have that much sugar? Right? Like, I know it feels good, but what are we numbing away from? Yeah, so it's like, have I been in any kind of weight loss program that taught me how to actually discover the why for myself in my whatever eating habits that I'm doing, and give me a solution for how to pull it apart, understand it, and know how to do better the next time, so that this isn't an ongoing pattern of binging, an ongoing pattern of self-hatred and body hatred, an ongoing pattern of being triggered every time I go to the doctor. Like, if it is continuing to happen over and over again, there are still lessons to be learned. But since there's so much shame and so much black and white thinking, you cannot see out of it. You cannot learn and grow past it. This is a safe container inside this coaching container to support you to grow and learn past this. Yeah, so you just look at that for yourself. Like, have I worked on this on the unconscious level? Have I worked on the emotions? Have I worked on the thoughts? Have I done the mental and emotional work on this yet? And if the answer is no, then it's like, and you see it for yourself, you identify it for yourself, it's like, this is a missing. I have not gotten this piece of the puzzle yet. Then it's like, then go for it, right? Trust yourself that that feels resonant to you and go for it. And if you have other questions, other concerns, well, then book the call and ask me them so that you're not getting in your own way from a possible transformation that can change your entire life. Yeah, so that was that first takeaway that I wanted to share with you today on that. The second thing that I wanted to talk about was how when you declare something, so when someone first starts my program, I say, where do you want to be 8 weeks from now? Where do you want to be from one year from now? And I take careful notes on what is being said. Why? Because I call it a miracle mouth, okay? Your miracle mouth, when you just actually make the decision and just allow yourself, give yourself permission to actually say, this is specifically what I want in 8 weeks from now. This is specifically what I want a year from now. It happens every single time. All right. It's like the power of your words are just so powerful. Now, you might be saying, I say I want to lose weight all the time. Yes, but are you putting your money where your mouth is? Are you invested in a path that supports you to get there and holds you accountable to doing the things to get you where you want to go? If not, then you're not truly invested, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not being upset when you're not staying consistent or motivated or getting the result, right? Because money is just energy. And the more that you're putting energy towards that decision that you want to make, right? The more that's like, it's like things have to start moving out of the way for you to get that. You just need to be patient enough. You just need to ask for support. You just need to get what you need to actually receive those beautiful and amazing results. Yeah, I'll give an example. Everything that I say comes true. All right. But it's just because I practice everything that I teach in the program, that I teach to all my clients. And I'm so open to how things can transform. Last year, I had written down at a retreat of mine the word mansion. And there was a hyphen between man and shun. Okay. And I wrote down 1 year from now, I am going to manifest this mansion. And what I meant by that was like I was going to have my partner and we were going to have a mansion, right? And both were going to be together. Literally. All right. I'm in a beautiful relationship and he just purchased a house. It's not a mansion, but it's so expansive. We both feel so good in it. And he asked to make sure that I felt good in it with the anticipation that one day I would be moving in with him. Yeah. And it's just like, you can't make this stuff up. Okay. And, that's a huge example of a manifestation. I could go on and on about the things that have been like that in my life, but they're, on a smaller level, right? It's like my clients will be like, I want to be free from food. I want to feel positive. I want to not have, all the mental chatter around food, body, and weight anymore. And by the end of the 8 weeks, we check in and it's like literally we're checking all the boxes, right? A lot of times it's like, yeah, there's still weight that I want to lose. And I know that I'm on the right path to having it happen in a way that is in alignment with me. Right? Because I've never been happier in my life. Joy has come back. I feel peace. There's not the craziness. And so sometimes it's that like excavation of all the negativity that you've been creating, not your fault, society and all the life experiences, right? In the background about food, body, and weight. It's like we need to heal all of that first through the heal method. If you've seen my masterclass, if not, go grab it. And then there's spaciousness for inspiration, new ideas, new motivation, new energy to come in. Yeah. The third thing I wanted to share with you was I have a client who's graduating. So we don't kick you out in hypnosis for permanent weight loss unless, you don't follow our standards, which I make clear when you first start of just being a good person and coachable and, right, taking action and all this type of stuff. But assuming, right, that you're just here to be coached and get transformation, we don't kick you out, okay? You have the option to stay. You get all the things that you need within the first 8 weeks. Some people feel complete and motivated and confident that they are going to keep doing everything they learned and receive the permanent weight loss on their own after the 8 weeks. And some people are like, you know what? I still want the ongoing coaching. I still want the accountability because I don't feel safe enough that I'm going to actually perform this. So make sure that we have that support for people as they're in the program. This woman is 84 years young. And she did hypnosis in the past. She's a hypnotherapist. She loves all the unconscious work. And she stayed with us for almost 2.5 years. Yeah. And she said, I needed the second year. I just did not feel complete yet. And there's nothing wrong with that. And she was like, but now at the end of this second year, she's like, I don't have any of the inner turmoil anymore. I accept myself. I accept myself. Yeah, like I'm not attached to this anymore. And that is gigantic. And I said to her, I was like, yeah, it takes whatever time it takes, right? She's like, that's exactly right. Yeah. So just being able to just truly listen to yourself and love yourself enough to get yourself that support that you need to get where it is that you want to go. Yeah, it's such a beautiful, magnificent thing. Okay. The last piece is kind of interesting that I wanted to share with you today. So, and actually there's two. All right. So brand new client just enrolled today. Congratulations if she's watching this. I'm super excited for her. So she was talking about, and I did a podcast on this a couple weeks ago. The difference between coaching and like therapy and, different modalities or something that you would pay like per session versus coaching. Yeah, because she had some concerns financially and just wasn't sure. So I asked her if it would be okay if I kind of educated her on those differences. So I wanted to just kind of do like an addendum to that. So for those of you who don't know with coaching, right, it's the same as pro athletes will have a coach. Yeah, it's like I want to be the best at this as fast and as efficiently as possible. Yeah, like I want to do it without the risk of continuing to fall back all the time. Okay, so when you're in a coaching container, it is there to support you in rewiring your mindset the entire time. Okay, when you're paying for one-off sessions, you're just it's time for dollars, right? You're trading time for dollars. Coaching, you're paying for the result. Okay, you're paying for saying like, I'm going to get food freedom. This is how much I'm paying to get food freedom. It's energy out, energy back, right? So that's the main thing. It's you're getting the transformation. You're paying for the transformation. You are not paying for the hourly service or this type of thing. Yeah, and it's also very action oriented. So the thing is like you can still, and this is what I told her today, say you want to get better at playing basketball and you just make the decision, oh, I have a free gym access, so I'm just going to go and shoot hoops every single day. Does it mean that you won't get better at making baskets? Absolutely not. Of course, you would get better at making baskets if you're going every day and shooting a basketball, right? But will you actually learn the strategy and feel super motivated and like understand the intricacies that has to become part of who you are, and maybe even get excited and motivated about like meeting other people playing the game and learning how to play the actual game and like having it ripple out into every area of your life, that energy and that enthusiasm, right? Like all of that becomes possible when you actually hire a coach. Yeah, so it's not something that you need, but it's something that you actually may desire, again, to get as far as you want to go and as quickly as possible. So just wanted to share that, and that goes along with that, like the declaration energetically to the universe about like, this is what I'm creating, this is where I'm going, and then watching all the things unfold from there. It also goes back to the thing of like actually playing the game, right? So it's like when you have skin in the game, like you're going to have risks to take, right? You're going to have your comfort zone, you're going to be on your growth edge, right? But that's how we know that you're learning. That's how we know that you're transforming every single day. And that's literally our job, to make sure that you are growing and evolving in every single day. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's all I want to say about the coaching piece. And then the final piece, it's a little different, right? She was talking about her religion and she was saying how she was religious. So we respect people of all faiths, whether it's atheism, whether it is, Catholicism, Judaism. I've worked with people all walks of faith. I think faith is awesome. I think religion is awesome if you think it's awesome, right? And I understand the scientific components as well. So I shared this with her. If there's concerns about conflict with like religion or that kind of thing, I grew up Catholic, okay? And I also highly value science. So for a while, it was kind of like these things can't blend, and I didn't really know how to make peace with both. The more I started studying like Jesus as a historical figure and example to live by, and seeing the miracles that was performed in his leadership and his way of being, and the healing that was to be done and the example, I started to realize like everything that he is teaching is like mindset, hypnosis, neurolinguistic programming, right? And he was, to me, like anytime I ever read this, and again, this is not about picking a religion, it's just using this as a historical figure to that, there's Bible excerpts that we can live by. Now, and you can also replace Jesus with Buddha. Yeah. You can also replace Jesus with Muhammad, right? With all of these different religious figures. Like if you just like whatever your right idol is, or the person that you worship, like you'll see that all of the faiths, and I've studied, most of them. I studied, Judaism, studied Muslim, I studied, Catholicism, Christian, Buddhism. Okay, so like those prophets or the gods or whatever they are, they all have this like spaciousness in their communication. There is like nothing but love that exists. Yeah. And do you think those representations of religion are ever concerned about their weight? Like, are they ever like, besides like maybe like Buddha's like, ha ha ha, like my belly, like just kind of like sillily making fun of it, but doesn't actually have drama about it? It's like, if your mental state is not clear and open and like a channel for love, you're preventing yourself from receiving some of the most beautiful gifts, like your most aligned path, you living your most authentic life, right? That you could actually be living. And it's just like my biggest honor and privilege to help people like have that mental chaos just start to melt away, and like them to be able to be present like those figures have modeled to us through history and through religion. And it's just like all good things come from that. And so it's like we're literally marrying the science of how to actually do it through emotional mastery, through hypnosis, through the mindset work, through the thought changing work, right? Feeling our emotions, getting a new mindset. Like that is what is opening up the space to actually receive, again, like I said, like everything that you want in life: peace, happiness, inner peace, freedom, connections, better relationships, better friendships, getting out of the fear of judgment of what other people think. I've been talking to so many women, and it's just like like their confidence is low. They're scared to go to social events. They feel really not good about themselves in the mirror, right? They really don't want to be on camera. They really don't want to take a photograph of themselves, right? And the list goes on and on and on. And it's just like, it's not your fault that that's the case, right? They don't feel confident in the bedroom, even though their husband totally loves the way they look and appreciates them. They can't fully experience that joy for themselves because of their inner stuff. It's not your fault that you're stuck in that way. And there is a way out, and you can't get out unless you take action to get out. Yeah, so this is your fierce, ferocious, loving invitation to take action and get out of it. Take the first step, book the call. hpwl.info/consult. Get on my calendar. Yeah, text the word hypnosis to 1-855-232-5483. Get the training, book the call, just start the momentum. Even if you don't end up in this program, the universe will respond to your taking that first step. There will be a clearing, there'll be an opening, because it's like, oh, she's actually going to do something about this. Oh, she's actually going to look at this. Oh, she's actually brave enough, right? And so it's like, and my job is just to be that channel, right? To be that, what's it called? Right? The light in the middle of the ocean, the lighthouse for you. I had a psychic say that to me. She was like, you're kind of like a lighthouse for people. Like you're grounded. And when people come to you, right, they bounce off and you help them go where they need to go. Like, let me be your lighthouse. But I cannot do that if we're not having a conversation, right? And I am brutally honest with people. Like I will say straight up if I don't think that you're the right fit for the program, or if I have any doubts about your ability to actually get where you want to go, I will tell you that. Yeah. And I will also tell you if I believe that you should absolutely sign up for our program, right? Because you only have one life to live. If you didn't listen to my podcast about taking risks, go back a couple episodes and listen to that. Whatever you need to do, it is healthy to take action. It is healthy to keep moving yourself, right? Towards a better life, towards happiness, freedom, and inner peace. That is literally my job, and I can't wait to keep bringing in this heat. I'll talk to you very, very, very soon. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.